All right, now we're on the massive front porch here at One Silver Moss. And this front porch is massive. There's a lot of space here. What we've done here is we have power washed the front porch, front steps, all the handrails out front. Basically just kind of freshened everything up. There's a lot of cobwebs, a lot of old spider webs, and a lot of dirt and dust that just collects over time. We've gotten all that up, and things look actually pretty clean here. This is kind of place where you kind of feel like you want to hang out. We pressure wash down the steps. All the handrails are done. And, of course, when you pressure wash, if there's loose paint, you're going to end up losing it. Now, these handrails are actually in pretty good condition. We did have a little bit of paint that came loose here, and there's a little bit on the front rails as well. Nothing serious, but this we'll probably want to give it some attention here in the not too distant future. And we're all pressure washed down these stairs as well, and all the rails to the bottom. We pressure washed some of the driveway. There was a time here where the landscaping guys were doing all the clean out work here in Ocean Green, and they left just a ton of leaves on the driveway. And the leaves were probably there for, I would say, probably about 2 weeks during this process. So when they finally got all the leaves out of there, there were a lot of brown spots and dirt on the driveway. So we felt it was probably a good idea to go ahead and get that off the driveway and kind of clean things up a bit. And it does look a whole lot better. Now, if we head down here, one thing we've done is we've gotten a price to recoat the entire house. We have a painter that I use regularly, and we're just looking at this. You can see this kind of chalky kind of look. This is what happens to solid stain. Is it just gets chalky. It's not going to peel or kind of fall away from the wood or anything like that, because it is a solid stain and it still is going to embed itself in the wood fiber. However, it gets this chalky appearance. This is not the actual color anymore because of what's happened from the UV, the salt air, things like that. It does tend to wear away at the paint. So I've gone ahead and gotten a price. I'm going to send along, and you guys can take a look at the price and see if it's something that you want to have done before the summer, or if you want to wait till fall to do it and go through another season. At this point, let's have a look in here. Listen to the silent garage door. And of course, this was the underbelly of all the work in the master bath. Oh, and look, it's a shiny Beamer inside. The car was a little dirty. It had been from a lot of the work just getting put back inside after work was done. So we went ahead and washed it, and it looks a whole lot better. It's on a steady charge and is running good. We've just washed the floor up a little bit here, kind of try to keep the dirt and dust down. And if you will step on inside here, we'll close this so we can kind of have a look up at the ceiling, and you'll be able to see where all the framing work was done. Actually, what you can see of it is very little. We had doubled the joist up, and everything else was really good. The double joist was where that original joist had failed. We ripped out the part of it that was bad, that was rotted, so it doesn't continue into the rest of the material. And then we added a treated joist in there, and that way we won't have any more issue with water. I doubt there'll ever be an issue again, but just that way there wasn't going to be any wicking from the old material into the new or anything like that. And then the rest of this was good. And obviously you see he's got all of his foam in here. Everything's foamed up. And then at some point we can go ahead and look at re-drywalling all this if that's something that you think you want to do. Obviously at this point it's not necessary other than a cosmetic reason. It's not giving you any kind of R value really whatsoever. It's merely just a cosmetic issue. And then if we come around this way, the crib here with all the bikes and the body boards and everything, all the extra tile is in there. That's all been cleaned out and all been reorganized. And up the stairs here, let's see if I can hit the right light. Up the stairs, all the paint's been redone there, and all the paint on the ceiling has been redone. So that's nice and fresh. And then we'll take this party out back, and we'll kind of finish up here with our tour. Okay, we're out back, and this is going to finalize everything that we've done here. There's been a lot, so we kind of felt it was good to keep a video record of everything that was done. This is the clean Ipe. This Ipe hasn't looked like this for a couple of years, but this is what it looks like when it's all power washed. We power washed this whole deck out back here. And there is a lot of mold and mildew on it, as to be expected. That's all been taken off now. And power washed up the steps, and the handrails are done and everything out back here. So we got a good clean surface here. And this probably, the one thing that power washing done is it shows up all the areas that need service. As you can see, we got areas where, now these are galvanized nails that were used, but eventually even the galvanized nails, especially if they're hot dip galvanized, some of that coating can come off. Things can react with it, and you'll still get rust stains, especially after 15 years. This isn't really too bad. Typically what the painter will do is he'll go around and he'll brush this with some kind of rust inhibitor. That way it won't come back through the paint, and you'll get a decent amount of time out of it without it looking like this again. Nothing critical. The only thing that can happen is eventually, sometimes these nails can let go, and the rail will have to be re-nailed. You can see there's quite a bit of wear on here on these back rails. A lot of this is from the mildew that's been sitting on here, the mold that grows. Obviously, this is from this bush being in close proximity. I think we're going to take a pair of cutters to this and just cut this back. That way we can hopefully get a little bit more sun on it, and it won't be wanting to grow mold too much. Then up the stairs, we really didn't do anything in the screen porch. However, Dave did go around and he did clean the screens from the inside, just to kind of get everything out of there, and everything from sitting in the tops of the handrails, and cleaned out the handrails in there. There's just mostly dust and things that just come in from the golf course and the things that get blown in. So that's all taken care of. And then you can see the shiny new area here. And this is what it looks like, complete, all painted. And if you can just kind of show them a little picture of the new painted area in comparison with the old faded paint. That's just, that's that chalkiness that kind of happens to the solid stain. However, I really do feel that the solid stain is probably one of the best products because it doesn't peel. The only thing it does causes people to leave it on there a whole lot longer without recoating it. But we're probably getting to about that time of it needing to be done. These handrails still look actually pretty good for the most part. And we haven't really noticed any other rot anywhere as we've been around. Things look like they're in pretty good condition overall. Well-built house, good materials that were used. And this really will conclude our renovation and service items at 1 Silver Moss. We thank you for watching.